Lanka. This is Yasmin Yusuf from DecibelLK, and I'm with two people who are no strangers to the whole music scene of Sri Lanka, and they've joined forces to bring together Boom Live. Leah Marikar and the very cool Kiran Chandiram. There's a reason why they are doing this, and firstly, aloha.
Hello.
Aloha. Love the energy. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you so much, Yasmin.
It's so nice to be talking to the two of you, and I'm so excited. Like the minute you guys went live on Insta with Boom, I was like, oh my gosh, things are happening. Well, sorry, I'm just like getting too carried away because at this moment I'm just like all fangirling.
Please carry on. We will not stop you. We're excited. It's always just been Kiran and I just being really excited. So it's nice to have someone else in the mix.
Yay! So for those not very familiar with the project that is Boom Live, could you explain?
Boom is essentially a live, well, it came alive for us last summer, really, and we've been working on it for quite some time under the radar. And we didn't want to sort of, come off in any way like too eager or anything out into the world. So we decided that we're just going to be really low key and work with our artists and secure their trust and secure some really big wins, across the board. And when I say big wins, I mean, just really trying to create some kind of awareness and amplification and excitement around the artists that we so love. That's been really cool. So we've basically secured 8 artists across the last 6 months. And our plan is to help kickstart this music industry. I mean, Yasmin, you've been very pivotal with the local scene, and it's been something really exciting and encouraging to watch throughout the years. And I think for us, it's just, we're on the same page. We just feel that artists haven't been given the chance to really kind of, get themselves out there, find new audiences and give people an opportunity to discover them. And, what about the standards of, the music itself? I mean, when we listen to your sort of homegrown charts, for example, it's really encouraging because you're like, wow, look at this. These are Sri Lankans. And, isn't it sort of bizarre that we have to go and say, this is a Sri Lankan act? And people are like, no, don't be silly. And it's like, that's the thing. It should be an absolute common factor for everybody to be like, of course it's Sri Lankan, because we're so damn cool. We've got so much going for us in terms of culture and identity. Not going to go the other way about what else is going for us. And the point is that what's exciting for us is that we want to be a part of that journey. We can't own it. We're not trying to make it about us. But Boom is really very much a starting point for companies that should exist to help this ecosystem.
If I could add on a little bit like that as well, I think, because it also speaks as to, I think, Yasmin, and I think a lot of people know, especially if you're an artist, what it's like to be an artist. It's not a one-person job, and it's not something that the artist can do entirely by themselves. It takes even maybe more than us. It takes a whole team for an artist to succeed. So that's where we want to come in, to be able to provide help with everything that we can, especially everything that's not involved with the music. What we focus on is doing bookings and management as well. So with bookings, we're trying to help the artists achieve their goals, and you maybe even push it a bit further for everything they want to do booking related. And then we help with all their marketing and finance side as well. And then kind of help them manage that so that they don't have to worry about it and they can reach their maximum potential as musicians.
Which is really cool because I, for the longest time, have not seen much of that. Yes, there's been like certain organizations trying, but then, like with the two forces that you guys are, which we'll also get into a little later, there hasn't been so much going on. So this is like such a amazing breeze. And I hope it turns out to be like a crazy tornado in the future.
Definitely hope so too.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are like 8 artists in already, so I just can't wait to see progress. But for people who don't know you guys individually, what do you guys bring to Boom as individuals who's been in the scene, and just a tiny little backstory about you guys?
Yeah, for me in Sri Lanka, I've been involved, I suppose, events and playing a bit of music myself for a really long time now. Lived there my whole life as well. It was just something that I always saw because I actually did always want to be a manager. I wanted to be a sports manager. And then I also just thought, wow, I love music so much. Like, I can't believe I never thought that I should manage musicians. And my dad was a DJ in Sri Lanka as well. So it's just something that I always was very passionate about, I would say. I was super lucky to get the opportunity to actually start working in the field, and I worked managing artists in Europe as well. Through that, I felt like I also learned so much that the first thing I want to do is take it home and then help people at home and do everything I can so that the artists at home can be on the same level as artists anywhere else in the world, because they deserve to be. So that's where I come from with that perspective. And that's where I kind of learned a little bit to be able to help people in the way that I would like to.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time we haven't answered this question very, very much, but this is probably the second or third time, but it's so nice because when Kiran says that, I'm just like, well, that's pretty much the same thing. The sentiment is the same. And, we've been friends before, and like some people say, don't do business with your friends, but it's just like actually really encouraging for us, to be in this place. And, we have obviously great intentions for it, but we don't actually know where it's going to go. And we're happy with that. Like we're quite comfortable with this sort of journey of, let's just see, So to answer your question before, is my background is kind of a bit sort of varied, so to speak. I was a journalist to begin with, and then I moved into advertising and creative communications here and then in London. And when I was in London, I lived and worked there for quite a long time. And I was really lucky because, for me, music, again, is everything. Like, I grew up, with my parents playing records all day long, to sleep to eat to whatever. So music was everything. And then, living in London, being able to just rock into like just a tiny dive bar and hear a band play and just be like, I love them or I hate them. And this is before we had, and it's not dark age, it's just before we had this sort of very big spoiled, I always sound old, damn it. Anyway, but the point is that it wasn't that easy to find artists, not long ago. Right. And we're so spoiled by this digital algorithm that serves us all this stuff. But, I love that discovery. And then I was very fortunate enough, I kind of moved from advertising into non-traditional media and experiential. So I started working across experiences for brands. But then it kind of became very apparent that brands just wanted to partner with credible association with craftspeople, filmmakers, designers, artists, whatever. So I was very lucky. I got to work for a number of music festivals, including Glastonbury Festival. And I worked there 6 years, and I just got to see how this comes together and what it really means to stand there and see the band that you've loved so long, and you just like, sweat on me, come on. And like, I just want this, I love this. And that moment, and the same way that Kiran said it, I had that same emotion. I just wanted to bring that back, to Sri Lanka. Why does Sri Lanka have to be starved? Why do we have to see these Z-list artists that are brought over, that are like, were big in the 70s? Like, why are we getting this treatment? Like, we deserve, because we're a very musical nation. People sing all the time. There's a radio on wherever you go in a house. Like, we're just very musical. So I actually co-founded a music festival with my sister called Electric Peacock Festival, which you were very much part of with us at the beginning, whoop, whoop, and all throughout, obviously. But, it was very hard again, trying to introduce a festival format where you have 5 acts on a bill, of which 3 of them or 2 of them are local, so they get the chance to play on the bill. And then, hooking with a headliner. And, we were genuine. We just wanted to really give people that experience. And, I'm proud of what we achieved, even though I literally still have a twitch from it. But yeah, and we're still going. And, it's very exciting because you had Mark Ronson, Tiny Temper, Basement Jacks. That was a testament to the fact that the Sri Lankan people were right on, ready for that. And so that's the kind of belief system that I'm bringing to Boom, with the hopes of trying to make that system, an ecosystem and marketplace exist here.
Now, that's what I absolutely love about the two of you. The two of you really have this amazing synergy. And I feel that, yes, Sri Lanka is ripe for that, because for the longest time, even our country, like, it's such a great place to just have music tourism become a thing. because we have amazing recording spaces.
Exactly.
We have places where people get inspired by, and it's just a matter of just going to the right place. And of course, instruments like people can discover and just make use of, and just brilliant little venues, maybe not the biggest spaces, but at least decent spaces. And Sri Lanka for the longest time has been wanting so much of that young global energy to surround itself with. So, hey, here's to those times happening.
Woo!
And, so what's your roster looking like? You said you have 8.
Yes.
We do.
We do. So in no particular order, one thing we'd like to say before we say who they are, we're really grateful to them because all our outreach, was very sort of, I guess, new to them and fresh, and they had to really believe in us and trust us, which is something that's very precious. And we're very excited about it because the people that we actually went after were people that we felt we resonated with, that they were trying, that they had become their own self-promoters, that they had become, literally all the parts that we're playing for them, they were doing themselves. And so we're just really proud to be able to call them a part of the Boom family, or we're a part of their family, whichever way you look at it. So the first act that we have is Sunara. And she's a fantastic DJ, and she's been in the scene a while, and she's very super talented, super grounded, and just amazing. And she's also a very talented surfer and tattooist. But yeah, that's besides the point.
And as a DJ as well, just to add one tiny thing as well, she's someone that I always was so impressed by her variety and her kind of range of music, and it's something I was so interested by because I've seen her play so many different kinds of music, different genres and things like that, and from minimal to funk to glitch to like everything, and she's a brilliant DJ. Yeah, the other one, which actually I'm excited about, everyone of course, but these guys .A, who are a ball of energy. And they are this trilingual band that are funny, a little anti-establishment, a little, they got a little bit of everything in them. And they are bringing some really cool stuff to the table. And we're so excited to kind of work with them. And like now coming out of, not exactly coming out of COVID, but now coming into where things are more open and stuff like that. And, they're hoping to get some new recordings, get some stuff going, and the stuff that I think they have is going to be perfect for the current climate, in my opinion. And I'm really excited to work with them and see what they do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another band, and you can't even say another, but probably the biggest alternative band in Sri Lanka right now, and has been for some time, is Soul. And we're super excited about working with them. And it's been such a treat because there's just like immediate energy and cohesion and understanding and, all this sort of sharing of ideas and excitement about working together and achieving something, that's really going to change the game. The Soul are such a talented band, and they really know who they are, and they really stick to their guns about what they want to do and like what kind of artist they want to be. And, they just have this amazing ability when it comes to live performances. And, some bands overall, having worked with quite a few, a lot of the bands don't tend to say, oh, well, we're just like, we love being live. There's so many things that you have to do as a band, or you're expected to do. Whereas the Soul are like, this is who we are. And so, and they sound great even on recordings. And that's what we're doing with them too. And we're trying to help them kind of get onto the next level and take them overseas and everything. So very excited about the Soul. Hey guys.
Our Trio, which leads into Our Trio as well. Our Trio is this band, a trio obviously, that is so unique with like the kind of neo-funk sort of style. They remind me a bit of Kurangbin in a way, but with a Sri Lankan twist and a little bit more, they're a little bit of spice on the side as well. And they are just starting to get together and write music, and they're an emerging band with 3 long-time extremely talented artists, and I'm a big fan of their sound actually. And they've started performing live recently, and if you have the opportunity, I would definitely recommend seeing them sooner rather than later, because they are getting rave reviews everywhere they play, and from everything I've seen of them as well, they're quite something unique as well, and definitely worth seeing.
We love them, and we're also very excited about another artist we just signed very recently, which is he's a live loop artist, and he's just sort of moved to Sri Lanka from the UK. He's originally from Bristol, and his name is Yakara, and he's so incredible, and he's such a muso, and like he has literally brought with him every music of every kind of sound setup that is imaginable. Bless his wife for having the tolerance to have this on his house, but he's fantastic. And he is just about to start playing for the first time in about a week and a half, which we're really excited about.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's so great that we can have this, these people coming here and sharing their love of music and their enthusiasm and excitement. So Yakara is definitely one to watch out for.
For sure. Definitely a unique show. And it's its own show in itself with what he can do. And and he's perfect for gigs. He just has everything. He has built his own mixing desk, and he's a looping desk and everything. And he can just come plug in and just kick it off. And just we're really excited about him. And we're just getting, if you follow him on Instagram as well, and then he has some really great videos on how he does what he does, and like kind of explaining how it works. And it's super interesting. Of course, then after that, we have to mention Jerome. Jerome Speldeven is the blues legend in the game, who's, I mean, everyone and probably their parents have heard him at some point in their lives. He's got that voice, he's got that style, and like he's got a little bit of everything, and he's a really special artist, and someone who I've also learned a lot about music from growing up, and recently as well. With him, we're also trying to do something new as well. Right? We're in the midst of kind of trying to plan some stuff as well to break out of the usual comfort zone of where you would see him, and something a little bit new to definitely keep an eye out for.
Exactly. And then finally, we have DJ Nisal, who is actually really dope, and he has been playing in Vietnam, where he used to live, and he's Sri Lankan, and then he moved back, and now he's got a great variety, and he's got a great attitude, and he's just super into it, and he can do like super long sets, and we're just really excited to have him on board. Also to say that he is the reason for our beautiful brand that we're very happy and proud of, not in a conceited way, just in a really excited way. He's the designer behind that too. So, we're not making any money on him making any more brand opportunities. So you just knock yourselves out.
Sorry, I was going to say with Nisal as well, he definitely knows how to bring the funk. Follow him on Mixcloud. Check out our Instagram page at boom.live, and for all the artists, and also but check out Nisal's Mixcloud as well. It's definitely something that you can put on at any time and it'll bring a smile to your face. A lot of funk, a lot of grooviness. Really cool. At
the end, like we have, we welcome artists who want to come in and have a chat about stuff, or, we're actually really excited because we've had quite a few reach out to us since launching, and it just shows that, there is a reason for us to exist, and we're really happy about that. And we're just on the cusp of, signing off on a couple of more acts to join us, and some of them are, Sri Lankans based overseas. So we're really excited about that too. And actually, thanks to Yasmin, because you're the one who actually pointed us in the direction of some of them. So we're just really excited about that.
Man, I'm excited for the stuff you guys are going to be bringing.
For sure. No, we're pumped. I'm super excited for all of them. I'm really excited for the things that we're going to try to do.
So Sri Lanka is in the weirdest place it's been. Like, here we are going through a lot of, economic stuff, but at the same time, Sri Lanka is also seeing like a boom of events. What are some of your thoughts on that?
You know what? It's actually been really encouraging for us, because when we kind of started, we had got a really good momentum somewhere in like October, November. And then, we felt ready with our artists were ready. And then we reached out, and it was really encouraging, because I think everyone was like, you know what? Stick it. Like, we're just going to do this because we need to do this. It was not even a question of should we, it was like a out of necessity. So we're very grateful to all the venues and the promoters and the event organizers that have worked with us, to sort of help facilitate an opportunity for our artists to get on a stage and really sort of, belt it out and connect with audiences. It is quite weird at times also, because we're just like, nobody really knows. Like at one point, people weren't even sure whether they could like schedule events or go ahead with stuff. And that is the problem. Obviously, this is something that people have asked us, like, wow, you're launching a business in an industry that isn't even monetized properly. Are you sure? And you're like, well, yeah, because this is the time. There is no perfect time, but we need to get our artists and the venues and the audiences connected so that the loyalty and the faith and the sort of interest is there. So as and when things grow, we're ready to go.
And I was going to say, I've actually had this conversation with a few people recently as well. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot, that it is quite bizarre to me as well. Like the parallels that exist with the country where, like you were saying, there's so many things going on right now that it's so unfortunate what's going on. And at the same time, yeah, there are events and stuff happening, and, people going to nightclubs and spending, a crazy amount of money on just a drink or something like that. And to me, the parallel doesn't sort of make sense so much as well. One of the things that we talked about with a lot of our artists, and that something that I also want to work as hard as I can on, is it kind of leads me to thinking also about, one, when it comes to the artist, like Leah was saying, there's never a perfect time. We wanted to get in when we could start, because whether it's a good time or bad or the bad times, and whether the market's shifting a certain direction or whatever, like the point is to also be with the artist throughout that entire kind of cycle, good or bad. So on that side, that's why I'm kind of happy to be in the position we are in that sense, no matter what happens. And also there was also this thing that I was thinking about, where we speak to a lot of our artists about, generally I find that a lot of music and a lot of, when musicians kind of get to certain levels and stuff, then they either only perform in Colombo or the South or like things like that as well. And one of the goals that we have, a very long-term goal of ours as well, is that we want to make music accessible equally for everyone, because we'd love if, and we do have artists who are dying to play gigs in the central province, in the north, in the east, like things like that. And that I feel like as well can maybe somewhat change the dynamic of those parallels and make it maybe seem a bit less bizarre in a way as well, is something that I was thinking about.
And
recently.
also, we're purveyors of escapism, really. Like, what we're doing, we're part of a bigger community that's just trying to help people take a minute or take a night out and just, let it all kind of go away. And, I think that's why for both of us as individuals and as a team, music is so much about inspiration and taking a minute and just giving yourself a chance to take a breath and all of these things. And I think that, yes, it is bizarre, the parallels, as he said, but frankly, I'm just damn glad it's happening, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be able to even have that respite. And also everybody's got to eat, right? Everybody's got to start kind of making a go of it. And I think Sri Lankans generally are very resilient, also very oddly desensitized. And so, that's of course 30 years of war is going to do that to you. So I think that has this sort of impact. And also COVID has just taught us not to have expectations.
Yeah.
So we just put all that together. Basically just got to manage the fact that we're just not going to be sure of it, but we'll just go for it if we can.
Unfortunately, we seem to be running out of time. We literally have just 3 more minutes. Is there anything that you guys want to add in closing?
I just want to say that, we're really excited about this, and we really appreciate the support we've had from everybody. And we are very much about our artists and the audiences. But we're also very grateful to the partnerships that we have been able to create with the venues and the promoters that we're working with. So just, we invite people with original music to come and talk to us. And, we're just a team of 2 and 3, actually. We've got our amazing social lead as well. And, we will do everything we can within our means, but we hope to grow. So grow with us.
And yeah, we'd love to, even if it's just for a chat with artists of any level, any language, anything, any interest in music, even. We love to even just be a big bigger part of a bigger community of people that can help each other through music. And please feel free to contact both of us at any time. Follow us at the boom.live. Oh, sorry, it's at boom.live on Instagram.
At the boom.live. We've obviously got this down pat. Yeah.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram, message us. You can message us there. You can find our numbers there as well. Contact us at any time, and let's all work together on making the Sri Lankan music scene as best as it could be.
Amen. Hopefully we'll see some mad news and round 2022 up with some fantastic stuff. With news coming
Hopefully.
straight from the two of your camps.
Well, thank you, Yasmin and Decibel. For
Thank
having
you
us.
so much. Yeah,
Really
really appreciate it. Thank you for giving us a platform as well.
So much love right back, and here's to seeing awesome things happen. Jai Veva, you two.